What's happening, family? We back in this thing with another one, man. As you know, we got some crazy topics to talk about. You feel me? So before we get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell icon, and turn post notifications on to all. That way you will be notified every time we drop a video. Go ahead and wipe your feet as you come in the door, family. Y'all know how that goes, man. Hey, say. These those $5,000 Persian rugs. Y'all know what type of time it is, family. Don't get no mud on these, you hear me? Go ahead and wipe them Nikes off before you step in here. Now, we got some craziness, man, coming by way of J Prince Jr. and the OG Mama Duck. The two OGs in the building and whatnot. So, without further ado, if y'all already hit that like, let's go ahead and get to it. Off the rip, we got the OG, Brick and Duck OG, Miss Mama Duck, the Black Queen, as she shares Lil Durk and J. Cole's song, but J. Cole's verse only. Y'all see it right there, All My Life. Little jab at Durk, taking him out the song and telling J. Cole to talk his ish at Real Cold World with the heart. So it seems as though, you know, she's been listening to this song, really feeling it. And one thing I've been saying since this song initially dropped is that, man, this is probably going to be the biggest song we've seen, like, inspirational wise for the hip hop community since the R. Kelly song, I Believe I Can Fly. I know that's a huge mark to hit, but I do feel like that song has the potential to make it there. You feel me? Those were not the only comments made about the song from Mama Duck, as she also shared a post and captions it with, so that man paid Real Cold World $2,500 a word to speak about FBG Duck, or am I reaching? Yeah, she answered her own question with that one, because I personally believe that she was most definitely reaching. But on the other hand, I can also see where she would feel that way, especially if she kept listening to the song over and over and over. From the initial story post, it seemed like that was the case. Now, people reacting to this as well, and you got the first fan saying, girl, you think your son the only rapper that got killed? You got to get a grip. To which she reacts and says, girl, I know he not, but I can relate. Are you slow? Do you comprehend? The F be wrong with you trolls. Oh my God. You get a grip on your life and stop worrying about the next person. This woman says, nah, ma, J. Cole is too iconic to fumble his career for Durk. I highly doubt it. It don't matter the money amount. He all about peace. He not involving himself into no clown stuff, to be honest. I thought he was talking about Vaughn. Then she responds, he's speaking on whoever can relate, and I'm one who can. This woman says, everything in about Duck. Mama Duck responds, to me it is. The F. This person says, where is he talking about Duck? You reaching. Had FDDD FDC. She responds, I said I can relate to it because of what he said, but you're not lyrical, so you wouldn't understand, goofy. This last woman said, the hate in the comments are crazy. Y'all come to this woman's page just to be hateful? Shake my head, shh, is wild. Then she responds, girl, they can eat a Johnson, with like the little laughing, tongue out, not really caring, but most definitely care. You know, she a woman, she cares. But on the cool, I will say this. You know, you're speaking on these people's favorite rappers. And when it comes to fans, if you speak on their favorite rapper in a negative light, you are going to get a negative reaction. A fan is a fanatic, and that's why I tell y'all all the time, we don't rock with fans over here, supporters only, people who can think with rationality and don't, you know, go off the edge when somebody says something. They can try to break it down in their mind and try to understand where someone will get that opinion from, but then give their opposing opinion in a way that is adult and not reacting like a clown and just going off the edge and being disrespectful for no reason for people that they don't even know. But like I said, man, I believe that Mama Duck was reaching because she listened to this song so many different times and probably heard like, man, this is exactly what happened to my son. And then, of course, the correlation with it being him on a Lil Durk track, not just a Lil Durk track, but a Lil Durk single that seems to be going down as one of his biggest singles of all time. Like, this will most definitely be Lil Durk's biggest track. This is going to be the universal track. that keeps him in a wave forever. I'm telling you, this track will not die. This track is one of those that you can listen to 10, 15 years from now and still get the same feeling. And that is music. That is how you create art. And that is how you create a classic record. So I believe that this will be Durk's biggest record of all time. And with that correlation of it being his song and J. Cole on there speaking about what he's speaking about, rappers passing away, people speaking about rappers after they pass away, not posting them until they pass away. Yeah, I can see where she got that. I can see where she would feel like that's what happened to my son. A lot of people who didn't really rock with him before he passed away are now currently rocking with him. A lot of people who didn't post them on their blogs are now posting him, doing it for clicks and views and all that stuff that he was speaking about. So I can get where she would eventually come up with that correlation. I mean, hey, it's right there. It's easy to put the two together. But overall, I think she caught herself in the end and thought about it like, yeah, maybe he's talking about just the overall industry right now, because that space is very toxic. There's a lot of death going on. Just the culture, man, has gone to shit, might I say, man. It's not in a good place at all. You feel me? Like, you think about how many rappers died last year, man. That's a record number. It was what, 232, somewhere around that number. Look at the year prior to that, man. It was half of that, and half of that the year before. But these are the three highest years in hip-hop death rate or murder rate, man. It was just ridiculous, man. It was truly becoming like a fad. It was starting to become trendy. People have become so desensitized to the death and murder in hip-hop that it's no longer even like big news anymore. It's just like, it's kind of what happens in hip-hop. But she leaves it off with this post about dudes that argue with females on the internet, saying that, you know, they already been to Pound Town. A dude with like chaps or like panties on. Y'all don't need to see that. The dude had on a suit in the front and in the back. Yeah, y'all don't need to see none of that, man. Y'all don't want to see none of that. So that's why I just showed y'all the words. You feel me? And last but not least, man, we got the OG. And it's the moment y'all probably been waiting on. I know I most definitely been waiting on it. Because for me personally, this is my favorite subject to speak on. Now, we got to get into the Mob Ties Rap-A-Lot, man. J. Prince Jr. said a mouthful. He really got on the gas, man. OG, let it be known how he feeling. Ain't hold back anything, and he been on the gas for a little minute now. Now, first, he popped out with this under a picture and says, "It's business, not personal. Who you like, Shakur or Devin?" And me personally, I gotta go ahead and rock with the young lion, Shakur Stevenson. Like I've been telling y'all from the beginning, before anybody was really even speaking on his name, Shakur Stevenson is a dog. And he has been a dog since the amateurs. He's only getting better. But pause that for a second, because he threw a party having people holding up signs saying sign the contract, and then goes ahead and shares Devin Haney's post where Devin Haney says, "Clown stuff, Bob, J. Prince, and I don't know what the F he talking about. Just clout chasing. If it was a contract, then we would go into a purse bid because he's my mandatory. When he really want to fight, tell his promoter. Until then, get off my Johnson." And then Shakur, of course, shares it and says, "Finally, you speak for yourself. Bob just told the world the 3 fights he about to offer you, little bruh. Let's get active. It's about time." 100. Well, of course, now we know that there's a situation going on with the mandatory for the WBC. But keep that in the back of y'all minds. We got to move on for 1 second. Now, J. Prince pops out and gives his reaction, and he says, "Ain't no clowns over here. We want the smoke, little homie. Keep it real with the people and let them know if you want it or not, because this stuff hot. that we bring. Then he tags real Devin Haney, which is Devin Haney's account, and Shakur Stevenson, of course, his fighter. He's his manager. Now, as y'all see, that man Jay Prince Jr. talking real spicy. He letting it be known they want the smoke. You know what I'm saying? All the smoke with Devin Haney. They trying to get them straps. But, of course, once again, we got boxing corruption coming back into the game, man. And that's why we need to talk more boxing, because people need to be more hip to what's going on within the boxing community towards black fighters, because it's just crazy, man. Vasily Lomachenko just lost again. ESPN still has him at 17-3. Vasily Lomachenko has lost 4 times now. Just lost to Devin Haney. They're trying to erase that loss. But they still have him over Shakur Stevenson in every major sanctioning body. This man, Vasily Lomachenko, just lost his opportunity at being an undisputed champion. Not once, but twice. And it's still over Shakur Stevenson? How is that even possible? The WBC has him ranked number 2. The WBO has him ranked number 2. The WBA has him ranked number 4. The IBF has him ranked number 4. They still have this man, Vasily Lomachenko, which he never should have been, ranked higher than Gervonta Tank Davis, who is the WBA regular champion. Not to mention the fact that he is a 3-division world champion. How is that possible? I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense, man. And it shows you what goes on in the sport of boxing. And that's the reason why I feel like Shakur Stevenson may never get his shot at Devin Haney. Bob Arum is trying to block that fight. And now I know Jay Prince Jr., Bob Arum, they're close, but Bob Arum wants his guy to have those belts. The guy that he knows is going to stay with him. Eventually, he knows Shakur Stevenson. He's been burnt by Floyd Mayweather, so he doesn't trust black fighters. And he feels like eventually when Shakur Stevenson fully comes into his own, Shakur Stevenson is going to go on, which he should. You know what I'm saying? So I believe Bob Arum is blocking that fight. He wants Vasily Lomachenko back in there. Because to most casuals, they believe that Devin Haney lost to Vasily Lomachenko. They didn't pay attention to the work that Devin Haney was putting in every single round. Man, that man was doing great body work. That jab was on point. His ring generalship. The fact that he was walking Vasily Lomachenko down. That was a different dynamic of Devin Haney's skill set that we had yet to see. I mean, we knew he could fight on the inside, but the fact that, you know, he walked a fighter like Vasily Lomachenko down, that was unbelievable. And that in itself is, you know, not only a testament to Devin Haney as far as, you know, his dog and having dog in him, but it's a testament to, you know, how he is wanting to give the fans the fights that they want. You feel me? His versatility that he can bring to the ring as well. In no way, shape, form, or fashion did Vasily Lomachenko even win over 5 rounds in that fight. I gave Devin Haney at least 9 rounds. So by technicality, that means Vasily Lomachenko won 3. But that's the sport of boxing. The politics are so crazy, man. You know, you got Shakur Stevenson, who has beaten fighters of the likes of Oscar Valdez, Jamel Herring. The man has dominated in every fight he's been in. And you got him rated under Vasily Lomachenko, who has lost 4 fights in his total 21 fights. Come on, man. That man Shakur Stevenson has more wins than Vasily Lomachenko has fights. And I know that Vasily Lomachenko has an extensive amateur background, won 2 gold medals, 400 plus fights, and 1 defeat. Well, he has 4 in the pros. So it shows you the difference. Amateurs and pros are 2 totally different sports. I mean, I know they're the same sport, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. They're 2 totally different realms. You can't even compare them, honestly. You got Yordenis Ugas, who beat Terrence Bud Crawford multiple times in amateurs. You got Gary Antoine Russell, who beat Jaron Ennis multiple times in the amateurs. That happens all the time. But what you got to understand is the pros is a different game. And speaking of Jaron Ennis, why is it that Virgil Ortiz is over Jaron Ennis in every major sanctioning body? The IBF, where he was the mandatory, literally took him out. They took him off the list. You don't see Jaron Ennis anywhere in the major sanctioning bodies. Do you see what I mean? The politics, man. You got Jermell Charlo not even rated in the top 10 at 160. You got Demetrius Andrade not even rated in the top 10 at 168. And the crazy thing about Jermell Charlo is the champion. He is the WBC champion. How is he not rated in the top 10, but you have Gennady Golovkin there, who has multiple losses? How is it that Caleb Plant, and I really like Caleb Plant, but how do you have him number 4 and don't have Demetrius Andrade anywhere in the top 10? That don't make any sense. This man, Canelo Alvarez, is still number 1, and of course he hasn't lost at 168, but after that loss to Demetrius Bivol and the fact that he does not want to fight Demetrius Andrade, Jermell Charlo, or go into a rematch at 175 with Demetrius Bivol to avenge that loss, how can you still have him as the number 1 fighter at 168? I don't get it. They still have him in the pound for pound list, I believe, number 3. But that's ESPN, right? My bad, he's number 4. Because you know how these ESPN hype jobs are. They never lose their spots in the pound for pound rankings, no matter how many losses they take. Like, you look at number 3, they got Errol Spence Jr. there. Why is Errol Spence Jr. number 3? Why is he not at least number 2 at the very least? Because they have Monster Inoue there, who's fixing to get destroyed by Stephen Fulton Jr. Watch, man, he gonna destroy that hype job. And watch them still not take him off the pound for pound list. But guess who they have at number 9? They have a man who just came off a loss to Devin the Dream Haney, a guy that they don't even have in the top 10 pound for pound, even though he's undisputed. Doesn't make any sense. They have Vasily Lomachenko at number 9, a man who has taken multiple losses, 4 to be exact. 2 fighters that are not even in the top 10 pound for pound. A man who just destroyed Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. Then at number 10, they have Shakur Stevenson, once again still behind Vasily Lomachenko, even though Stevenson will beat the brakes off of Vasily Lomachenko. Stevenson is Vasily Lomachenko's worst nightmare. His boxing ability, his defense, man, he will destroy Vasily Lomachenko. Believe me, family, I'm trying to tell y'all the truth right now. And of course, I like the fact that Demetrius Bivol is on the pound for pound list, but they have him at number 8, even though he dismantled Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez do not want that fight again. Then they got Arthur Beterbiev above Demetrius Bivol at number 7, even though he is ranked, even though he's the number 1 fighter in that division. I mean, boxing is just comical right now. All these sanctioning bodies and their ranking systems are terrible. ESPN is terrible for boxing. They just create hype jobs and cap, and the real fighters never really get the shine that they are supposed to. And that's the reason why you have a Terrence Bud Crawford who's been with ESPN his almost entire career. Of course, he left not too long ago, but he is not valued at the light that he should be. There's no way that you have a fighter like Terrence Bud Crawford who's only doing 125,000 pay-per-view buys. There is no way that you have a fighter like Errol Spence Jr. who is not ranked at least number 2 in the pound for pound list. But that's just, you know, these sanctioning bodies and these big platforms doing the sport of boxing a disservice and trying to promote what their agendas are, man. And it makes no sense, bro. But like I tell y'all, once again, I know I went on a whole rant. Shakur Stevenson, man, that boy is special. Devin Haney is special as well. But when it comes to Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney, I just feel like Shakur Stevenson just has more tools in that toolbox, and his skill set is one of those that comes around very rarely. And this is a special time that we are in, because at lightweight, you not only have one of those type fighters, but you have 3 of them. Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and that man, Gervonta Tank Davis, who I believe is the man to beat, and I believe is the true #1 rated fighter at lightweight. Then you also got to talk about Frank Martin in that same conversation, because Frank Martin, man, that man is something else. His win over Rivera was impressive, but for those who've been watching Frank Martin, you already know that Frank Martin was like that. He makes every fight look easy. He's strong, he's fast, he has great footwork, great conditioning. Of course, he's under that Derrick James banner. We know how Derrick James fighters are. They're all strong, they're all well conditioned, they're all very, very fundamentally sound, and they come to get the job done, man. So beware of Frank Martin, because he's a problem as well. And I believe that Frank Martin should be considered, you know, one of those top horsemen. And still, don't count Ryan Garcia out. I know he moved up to 140, but like I said, Tank Davis is a generational talent. So when you're talking about going up against one of those generational, once-in-a-generation transcendent talents, man, who's really going to beat them? You can't count that loss. Who's really going to beat them? But overall, man, I'm taking Shakur Stevenson in that fight. James Prince Jr., man, on the gas once again. Y'all let me know who y'all take in that fight, man. I love these boxing conversations. We definitely got to do more of this, man, especially if y'all want to see more of it. And I promise I'll give more of production. This was more of a conversation. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell icon and turn post notifications on all. Y'all know all praise be to the Most High. Peace and blessings, kings and queens. And I'm out. Believe it.